What's up, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. We're going to EDH land right now, so welcome to the show. One of my managers says it all the time, like whenever I walk in, she's like, "Hey Tracy, welcome to the show." She's great, I love her. Okay, so today we're in EDH land, and we're going to be talking about some colorless card draw. As you guys know, if you've been keeping up with my channel, I'm taking a break from Modern, so that means that I'm not really posting as many Modern videos, so for those who love EDH, we're going to be talking about a lot of EDH stuff, because I love EDH, it's like my favorite format. Though I do really miss casting Snapcaster Mage, it's just something that I miss. Cards close to my heart, I like it a lot, and I miss it. But we're not going to talk about my deep love and life for Snapcaster Mage. We're going to be talking about some awesome colorless card draw things. You know, here's the deal, is if you're, like, basically not running, like, if you're running, like, white or, red, if you're running, like, white or red in EDH, especially those color combinations together, or even black, because black card draw hurts you, you're kind of like, man, I really need some good card draw options, basically. So that's why I'm doing this video, because these are awesome cards that you can run in your deck. It doesn't really matter which. I run a lot of these cards in, my EDH decks, so let's get started. And I actually realized I don't know what some of these cards do that I wrote on here, so that's great. I wrote this list down a while back, and I don't remember what some of these cards do. This will be great. We'll be fine. Okay, so the first card I'm going to talk to you guys about is one of my all-time favorite cards, and it is called Staff of Nin. This card is awesome. Yes, it's 6 mana, but you know what? Who cares? If you get this like late on in the game or whatever, you've got mana rocks, things like that. It's 6 colorless mana, so hey, whatever. So first off, you get to ping something. This is really cool. You can put your opponents on quite the clock if you've got a long EDH game going or something like that. And then on top of that, just at the beginning of your upkeep, you just get to draw an additional card. This card just does 2 different things stapled into one. It gets you card advantage and it gets you to ping. You can either do it to a creature or player, so you can kill like their creatures. And say you like, I don't know, they're running like a graveyard recursion deck or something, you can like ping their creature and kill it, and then you know, you can exile their graveyard or like something like that. So that's really awesome. And yeah, it just gets you to draw cards. So overall, this card is just a huge EDH staple, something I'd recommend in like basically every EDH deck, because this card's just nuts. Okay, the second card I want to talk to you guys about is Seer Sundial. I really like this card. If you're playing a deck that has just like a lot of lands in it, the card's just really good. If you get it on like turn 4, turn 3 or something like that, and you're hitting your land drops consistently, this card is really good. I don't think it's one of the best things ever. I don't think it's one of the best card draws like ever, but I do think that it is a good card draw option. Like, I run this card in my Omnath deck because red doesn't really have card draw, and I have some green card draw, but I need a little bit more, and that card's like a lands deck. It just runs like a ton of lands. So, you know, overall, card is really good. Then we have Mind Stone, and Mind Stone is a really awesome card because it has like a multi-purpose, because first off, it's a mana rock. Cool, sweet, I like mana rocks. And then second thing on top of that, you get to sack it and draw a card. It just does 2 things that you need it to. It's a good mana rock, it gets you to cast your spells quicker, and if you like, I have no cards in my hand, I really need to draw a card, you can just sack it if you have too much mana. So overall, this is like, to me, one of the most like versatile EDH cards. I think it's just a pretty good staple in like all EDH decks. I'm a huge fan. Then we have Hedron Archive. I've been seeing this actually played in a lot of my friends' EDH decks. They've been really liking this card. It's very similar to to Mind Stone. It's just that it's a little bit more mana and you just get to draw an additional card off of it. Again, what I really like about these cards is that they're really good in the early game if you really need mana, but they're really good in like the late game when you just don't have anything to do. When you're like, I really need something else in my hand, I really would like to draw some cards. So, yeah. We have Well of Lost Dreams. I don't know why I'm not running this card in my Angels EDH deck, because I have like a lot of life gain in that deck, and I can like tend to just not have like a lot of cards in my hand, so I think I really need this card in here. I just realized that I'm not talking about a card that I'm totally going to talk about. I literally just can't even believe I like didn't put this card on here. Doing real well over here. A+. Okay, so if you're running any sort of like life gain, if you're running a lot of life gain, this card is just really, really awesome, because you know what? It's so good because you're like, cool, I gained 3 life. Pay 3, draw 3 cards. It's like 1, you know, you pay like 1 mana to draw 1 card. Card is just really nuts. I'm a huge fan of it. I don't know why I'm not running it in my deck. It just needs to happen. Then we have one of Tracy's all-time favorite cards, and that is Skullclamp. This card's just nuts. It does so many different things for you. It works beautifully in my Tasigur EDH deck because I'm like, kill my mana dork that already did its job, draw a card. Dude, I was playing EDH one time, and I had Solemn Simulacrum on board. So it was a 3/1. And, you know, when it dies, you draw a card. And which I'm actually going to be talking about that card next, actually. But it's funny, so I had that on, and then there was, I feel like it's Fecundity, where it's like, whenever a creature from anywhere goes to the graveyard, that creature's controller draws a card. Then I had Skullclamp on my Solemn, so if my Solemn died, I would have drew 4 cards, which was nuts. Putting this on Solemn is like one of my favorite things ever, because Solemn just like blocks for days. We'll just like segue right into Solemn. This card's nuts. It does 2 things that you want it to. It's a mana rock, and it draws you a card. Overall, one of the best EDH cards needed in like actually just every EDH deck. This card's sweet. For those people who casually just have $45 to throw around at Magic cards, this card's gonna be for you. Sword of Fire and Ice. All swords are really strong in their own way, and I like them all. But it's got per red and blue, and then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it deals 2 damage to something. So you kill their whatever, or you do 2 damage to their face, and then you just get to draw a card. Put this on your big protection dude or whatever, like, or give it protection from someone's colors, and then you just get in there, and then you get to do a bunch of other cool things, and you just get to draw a card. Overall, card's really good. And the last card I'm gonna talk about, I think, no, I lied. There's 2 more cards, I lied. We're gonna talk about Endbringer. This card is really good. I remember when it came out and there was like promo for it and everything. This card just does a lot of different things, other than card draw. So first off, it just gets to deal 1 damage somewhere. Sweet, I like it. Then you casually just can have something can attack or block for 1 mana and you just get to tap it. Sounds good to me, I like it. And then if you pay 2, you get to draw a card. This card's sweet. This card is nuts. On top of that, it's a 5/5 for 6 mana, and then it untaps during each player's untap step. So like you're playing like a huge game of EDH, you're like, cool, okay, every turn I'm just gonna draw a card. Sounds good to me. I'll like it. Card's sweet. Last card we're gonna talk about is Mind's Eye. So basically, I really love this card, and I love the fact that it says whenever a player draws a card, whenever an opponent draws a card, so like, it's not just like during their draw step. So like, say your opponent's like, I'm gonna draw 5 cards, you're like, cool. Guess what, tap, I'm also gonna draw 5 cards. Cards, nuts. Cards super, super good. Definitely something that gets Rec-saged because people are like, I don't want you drawing a lot of cards. So, yeah, overall card's really good. Alright, yeah guys, that was it. That was it for talking about some colorless card draw in EDH. Let me know what you guys like. Let me know what's your favorite. Overall, I really like Solemn, Skullclamp, Mind's Eye is really good, and Staff of Nin. Those are like my couple of top picks that I really like, that I run a lot of my EDH decks. And that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.